Welcome back, football fans. It is Thursday night. You know what that means. We got Thursday night football. We have the Dallas Cow Frauds taking on the New York Giants. Let me know your predictions down in the comments. Not only do we got Thursday night football, it is Thursday tier list day for the channel. Now, we did a tier list like this, I would say about a month ago, a little bit before the season started, predicting Super Bowl contenders, favorites, playoffs, not playoffs, who's going to be the worst team in the league, this, that. We're going to go back. We're 3 weeks in the season, and we're going to see what all has changed. Starting with a team I think all moved on our list. I'm not going to lie, though. Last year, I had the Saints winning like 13, 14, 15 games. I thought their schedule was easy. They looked like a good team, and it just did not mesh well. They're looking like a good team now. I know they just lost to the Eagles. We get it. Where are we putting the New Orleans Saints, though? I think we're going to just throw them up there in playoff team. Unless they have some insane fall off and they just quit scoring, which did happen against the Eagles. The Eagles might have unlocked the playbook for the rest of the teams on how to stop the Saints. I still think they're a playoff team. I kind of want to put them in wild card because I still think the Falcons win the division. I think they've just had a tough run the first few weeks. I think that we'll get to the Falcons in a minute. The Saints are absolute dogs. I think once they realize, we can't keep passing it over the top, I think this is Olave season. We saw it last week. Derek Carr started connecting with Olave a lot more. I think they're going to get that rapport going. I think they're going to be a solid, fun team to watch. Alvin Kamara's a dog. The defense are dogs. Whew. Who's ready for some Saints football? Not a Saints fan, by the way. Actually, my favorite running back ever, Marshawn Lynch, owns that organization. So, this is a tough one. And not tough because I know where they go, just upsetting. The Miami Dolphins. Such an what stat was it I saw? They led, oh my gosh. It was an insane stat. It was like they led for 260 snaps last season, but they haven't led in 260 snaps. Something crazy, some kind of crazy stat. They went from first to worst on offense, and obviously, let's be real. Quarterback gone. They were on quarterback 3 against the Seahawks. Just super upsetting. It sucks to see Tua go down like that. I feel like they kind of built their defense up a little bit. Their offense just can't get going. The run game's not going to be able to carry him. Mostert's hurt. Achan's the dog, but you don't want to run him into the absolute dirt. Obviously, you have Tyreek Hill and Waddle, but they got to bring someone in, right? They have to bring someone in. If I was the Dolphins, I would be on the phone with, where's Joe Flacco? Where's Flacco at? Where's Joseph at? I think he's on the Colts. I'd be on the phone with the Colts. I'd be on the phone with the Browns talking Jameis Joe. I'd be on the phone with the Broncos. Zach Wilson. You got to get someone in there that is going to spark this offense. And now, I think Zach Wilson is going to go through the same career Sam Darnold went through. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he has all the potential in the world. I think he was on the terrible Jets, and the Jets are just awful at building quarterbacks. I don't know what it is. Where are we putting the Dolphins? If they keep going on this trajectory, they're missing the playoffs. I don't see, unless they bring in a vet quarterback, Tua's going to take his whole 6 weeks on IR. He's just going to. If they do not bring in a veteran quarterback, they're missing the playoffs. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Little 1-2 start. Little 1-2 start for the Ravens. Went in there and absolutely exposed the Cowboys last week. You love to see it. Passed 15 times, by the way. That's ridiculous. Passed 15 times, almost rushed for, they almost rushed for what, 400 yards or 300 yards? It's something ridiculous. They almost rushed for like 300 yards. That's insane. I think Derrick Henry had 151. I think Lamar had like 87. Someone else had 33. Absolutely insane. That being said, I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender. They're definitely not a Super Bowl favorite. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender. I want to put a playoff team. I'm going to put them in playoff teams. That's down a tier, I believe, from where he had them last time. something's not hitting. I don't know if the offense is bland. I don't know if the defense isn't flying. They lost both coordinators. Their offensive play calling makes me so mad because if Lamar is not running the ball, they're throwing a screen to the wide receiver. They're throwing a screen to the running back. They're throwing a screen to the wide receiver on the other side, or Zay Flowers is just somehow open in the middle of the field. I don't know. It's bland play calling. I think it takes them down a tier. Next, we have the 0-3 Cincinnati Bengals. Talk about a fraudulent team. I feel so bad for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. This front office needs to be prosecuted in a court of law for how they're abusing both of these gentlemen. Joe Burrow, just got paid recently. Jamar Chase looking for a bag. They have done nothing. I mean, O-line already going down. O-line hurt, banged up, was already bad as is. Defense banged up, hurt, was already bad as is. T. Higgins finally back. Wide receiver core, solid quarterback, and solid rest of the team, hurt or terrible. 0-3. Who do they play this week? Are the Bengals about to start 0-4? That would be a movie, right? Y'all let me know down in the comments who the Bengals are playing this week and if they are starting 0-4. Do I think they miss playoffs? This is a tough one. I think they'll heat up. I think they're a potential wild card team. I think they are a potential wild card team. By the way, Howard, there's only going to be two Super Bowl favorites, AFC and NFC. Everything else is free game. The Denver Broncos. Now, I can't hold it against them. We knew they were going to be bad going into the season. Rookie quarterback. You have no run game at all. They just called me today, to see if I wanted to come run the rock for them this weekend. And I ran a 5 flat 40 in high school. They just called me, and I've been out of high school for a while. They just called me, said, "Hey, Hunter, do you mind coming running the rock for the Denver Broncos this weekend?" I said, "I'll be there. I'll be there, coach." Because I got to do better than Javonte Williams, right? I'm getting more than 13 yards on 16 attempts. I forgot how many attempts he had. I'm getting more than that. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting more than that. Denver Broncos, I'll put them at young but intriguing. Young quarterback, young run game. You got some young wide receivers, some young defense. Young but intriguing. They won't do anything this year. I think they have potential in some years to come, though. Next, the New York Giants, who are playing the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. Do I think they can win this game? Yes. Do I think they'll win this game? Probably not. Am I rocking with them still? Absolutely. I think they have an okay run game. I think Danny Dimes over the last 2 weeks has played some okay football. They have a problem at cornerback. Their defense is, they're young. It is what it is. Where are we putting the New York Giants? Probably missing the playoffs. I mean, now, do I think now they'll go out there and they'll upset some good football teams? I do think that. Ooh, the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold. And when I tell y'all, shout out Rob. He's not going to watch this video. If he does, he'll hear this. Shout out Rob, because me and Rob have been Sam Darnold supporters since he got drafted to the Jets, since he went to the Panthers, since he went to the 49ers. And now he's in a place with a solid scheme that needs a quarterback, good run game, good wide receiver core. O-line is holding up when it needs to. Defense is fighting for him. We love it. Great defense. No, number one defense in the league. Are the Vikings the number one defense in the league? They're flying like they are. And they've played the 49ers. They were kind of hurt. They were hurt the next week for sure. And the Texans. Them dog walking the Texans made me happy inside. Let me tell you, it made me happy inside. The Vikings are our first Super Bowl contenders. Love to see it. If they stay hot like that, I mean, Sam Darnold needs to win comeback player of the year and MVP if they keep this up. He needs two of them. Next, we have the LA Rams. I mean, talk about a great team with misfortune. Both star wide receivers hurt. O-line is decimated. You lose Aaron Donald in the offseason. Your defense is already ranked 28. It's not looking the same. You can't stop the run to save your soul. I mean, what the Lions did to them in OT made me sick to my stomach. But you're missing it. You can never replace Aaron Donald. You can never replace Aaron Donald. You make do, right? You make do. I think the Rams are probably going to miss playoffs. Now, do I think they go out there and upset some really good football teams? Yes, I do. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Love me some Baker Mayfield. They're finally, I think, figuring out the run game. Rachaad White, really not that guy. You know who is that guy, though? Bucky Irving. Get him in there, get him the touches. I think you get Bucky Irving in there, get the majority of the yards. You get Rachaad White in there to get those nitty gritty tough first downs. You get him in there, and you get him. You got to get them both going. You get them both going. You get that run game going, the Bucs are going to be unstoppable. You're going to have Mike Evans downfield, Chris Godwin tearing up the middle of the field. McMillan's an absolute dog. This team just has so much potential. I'm going to say, what division are the Bucs in? Hold on. This is going to determine for me where I'm putting them. What division are the Bucs in? See, and I think I already know the answer to that, and it's kind of upsetting. They're in such a tough division, dude. Other than the Panthers, I'm gonna put them potential. I'm putting them playoff team. I'm putting them playoff team. I think they can beat the Saints. I think. Saints, Falcons, and Bucs might go in playoff teams. I really don't know. Who do I think is the most fraudulent out of these three teams? I really don't know. We're going to have to think about that one. Next, we have the Detroit Lions. Now, this is going to hurt some feelings. I'm putting them in playoff teams. I'm not putting them in Super Bowl contender. I think, well, one, they're super banged up right now. I mean, super banged up. I don't think Jared Goff is that guy. You can hate on it all you want. The run game's amazing. They actually learned last week, oh my, we have a good O-line. Let's run the rock. They learned that last week. Let's run the rock. They figured it out, finally. Their defense is okay. It's super banged up. When you can run man and you can get the blitzes going, they're great. When you got to get them in zone, they kind of fold a little bit. I think that'll be a downfall for them. I don't know if they can be a Super Bowl contender. I think there's a fine line between them, between playoff team and Super Bowl contender. I'm putting the Lions right in the middle of it. I should have made the Lions their own tier because they're a great team. They're interesting. When I give Jared Goff a lot of hate. I don't even say hate. Being a bus driver quarterback is okay, right? Majority of the league is bus driver quarterbacks, and a majority of the league doesn't drive the bus right. You know who drives the bus right? Brock Purdy and Jared Goff. Those are the top tier icons of bus driver quarterbacks. Like I said, it's okay. You have the talent. You just, when it comes to crunch time, it's going to have to be a whole team effort. Like, when it comes to crunch time with the Chiefs, you know Patrick Mahomes is going to go out there and he's going to find a way. I don't know if Jared Goff and Brock Purdy can go out there and find that way, but that team is going to find a way. And it's okay. Majority of quarterbacks in the league are bus drivers. I'm going to give the Lions a playoff spot. Next, we have the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams, please. I have supported you through 3 weeks. Months before the draft, after the draft, during the draft, I said Caleb Williams is going to be the best rookie quarterback, and Jaden Daniels is out there hooping. We love some Jaden Daniels, though. Shout out for helping me hit my parlay. I'm going to have to put him down here in Missing playoffs. I thought they were going to make playoffs. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Bears were going to make playoffs. It turns out the Vikings and the Packers are absolute dogs. The Bears are going through some growing pains. And I think they have an insane team. I'm not giving, it sounds like I'm giving Caleb Williams excuses. I think the only excuse he has is the O-line is absolutely terrible. And they played better last week, but one thing that you see the difference in Bo Nix, you see the difference in Jaden Daniels, you see the difference in, well, I guess those are the only two rookie quarterbacks starting. They don't have run games. Bo Nix, thank God, can get out of the pocket and run. Jaden Daniels can get out of the pocket and run. He can throw bombs downfield, and his run game is there. His O-line is there. His run game is phenomenal. They're giving him third and short opportunities, fourth and short opportunities, second and short opportunities. Caleb Williams is not getting that luxury. One, DeAndre Swift is either a fraud or that O-line is that bad. I've seen videos of DeAndre Swift having a wide open cut outside and running into the back of DJ Moore. So I see DJ Moore's frustration. I see it and I know why it's happening. I think the team has potential. I just don't think it's a playoff run this year. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers, another hurt team. And I told y'all, this year would be the downfall of the San Francisco 49ers. And you can say all you want, oh, it's because injuries. We saw last year it was going to be because of injuries. We knew all offseason it was going to be because of injuries. You see Christian McCaffrey obviously hurt in the playoffs, banging out tough yards, fighting for it, wanting to win a Super Bowl. They could not, in the second half of the Super Bowl, they could barely use Christian McCaffrey because he's fighting for his life, right? You go into the offseason, he's banged up, he's hurt, he has a calf injury. It turns out it's an Achilles injury. It turns out now he might play week 1. It turns out, oh no, we're putting him on IR week 2. He's in Germany right now seeing a specialist for his Achilles. They are not being transparent with the public. Debo's out. Kittle's out. Purdy's driving the bus the best he can. He doesn't have the Avengers around him. He's doing a great job driving it. You see he's missing some plays, and it's okay. It happens. Your team is banged up. But you know what? So this one's hard because I don't, when Debo and Kittle come back, it's all going to be okay, right? They don't need Christian McCaffrey like that. You got Jordan Mason, and that O-line is absolutely insane. But at what point, at what point are they a playoff team and a potential wild card team? This is going to hurt some feelings. I'm going wild card team. I really think the Cardinals win the division. I think depending on how, I think this right here is kind of like the Lions. Depending how long Debo and Kittle are out is where I'm putting, the 49ers. So they're kind of in that middle ground playoff team, potential wild card. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. I've said for 1, 2, 3 weeks. If Jalen Hurts does not quit turning that freaking ball over, they are not going to make the Super Bowl. They're not going to last in playoffs, and they're going to fold down the line. I really don't know. That is all the Eagles need to do. Hold on to the ball. All the Eagles have to do is hold on to the rock, and they'll be okay. Defense is playing. Saquon Barkley's a dog. Eagles are a playoff team. They're going to win. Oh, no. If they're Super Bowl contenders, if they can hold on to the rock. How about that? The Raiders, we're not going to spend long on them, all right? They're a first-round contender. Number 1 pick contender. Ooh. You know what? We'll keep them at number 1 pick contender. No quarterback, no run game. Wide receiver core doesn't want to be there. Defense making business decisions. I've said time and time again over videos the past week, Max Crosby's the only thing I'm keeping on that team. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers, who are absolutely hooping with Malik Willis. Matt LaFleur might be a top 3 a top 3 coach in this league, what he's doing with a backup quarterback. Writing the script, and they're executing it perfectly. You love to see it. Now, will they beat the Vikings this week? Probably not. I'm putting them in playoff contender. Next, we have the Washington Commanders. I think they have a solid team around Jaden Daniels. I said before the season started, this team was going to beat the Cowboys for the second place in the division. Eagles are obviously getting first. I think that if Jaden Daniels keeps playing like this, that's absolutely going to come true. He can uncork the ball when he needs to. He can make the reads. The run game is there. The wide receiver core is there. The defense is hooping. I'm going Commanders at potential wild card. Next, we're running into 20 minutes. We're cooking. Hey, if you're still here in this video, let me know down in the comments. You're a real OG for that. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're a solid team. I think they have a lot of potential. Kyler Murray gets going, which he's starting to do. I really think they got robbed against the Lions. Such a sickening game to get robbed against the Lions. Like, terrible refs. You're getting your wide receiver core going. You're getting your run game going. Your defense is playing for you. I think there's a lot of potential with this team. I think they are a potential playoff team. I think they could beat the 49ers for the division. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to say, y'all are going to hate this. I might be a Justin Fields hater. Mediocre at best. I think they're 3-0. I think they haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody healthy. You can say the Chargers all you want. Lost their starting quarterback halfway through the game. Come on now. Mediocre at best. The defense is insane. I think the offense is lukewarm, lackluster. They're winning. They won week 1 with 6 field goals. They are one of the worst touchdown scoring offenses in the league. Justin Fields is scrambling out of clean pockets. You can say, you don't watch football. Go watch Justin Fields run out of a clean pocket. Go watch it. It happens every game. Now, did he make some connections last game? Yes, he did. What are they? The Chargers defense is banged up. It'll be okay. I think they're mediocre at best. I think they're actually a pretty fraudulent team. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills. Super Bowl contenders. Josh Allen might win MVP this year. He's looking absolutely insane, and this is coming from a Josh Allen hater. I've called him the turnover king. I've said him and Dak Prescott are on the same level of quarterback. Brother, was I wrong, and I'm going to eat that one on the chin. This man is an absolute god. I think he's the second best quarterback in the league. I think he's better than Joe Burrow. And I had Joe Burrow at number 2 for a long time. This man lost half his defense, his top two wide receivers, and he's out there looking better than he did last year. He's running the ball, he's throwing the ball, the run game's going. The defense, with how much they lost last year, is hooping. And you love to see it, Super Bowl contenders. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I had them winning a lot of games this year. I think at least 11. They started slow. They've had a grueler schedule up until now. I'm not even sure who they play this week. It could still be a grueling schedule. I think they're absolutely a playoff team. We're going to have to move the camera a little bit. There we go. I think they're absolutely a playoff team. I think there's a lot of potential there, a lot of youth, your good run game, wide receiver core, some good young guys. Defense is absolutely showing out. You love to see that. They bought in for a Super Bowl run this year. I think they're a playoff team. I think there's a lot of potential. Next, we have the 3-0 Seattle Seahawks. My Seattle Seahawks. Now, do I think we are super great? I think we're good. I think you can see the defense is 10 times better than it was last year. I think that's because of coaching. We got, I forget his name. I'm losing my mind. The defensive coordinator from the Ravens. You can see that type of scheme in Seattle. They're absolutely flying all over the ball. Offense is doing what they need to do. They said they were going to run the offense through DK Metcalf, and he's absolutely balling the last 2 weeks. You love to see it. I think we are a potential wild card team. I don't think we're going to win the division, even though we're starting 3-0. I do think we are going to make playoffs, though. I think we are going to upset some teams in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. Next, we have the New England Patriots. We have a number 1 pick contender. They're going to go out there. I think they're going to win some nitty-gritty games. I think 2 things these teams have in common. They're going to play grueling defensive football. They're going to score sometimes. I think the Patriots are a little bit better of a scoring team than the Raiders. Yeah, that's what I have to say on that. The Browns, I think, are, I really don't know, mediocre at best. I think they could make playoffs. I think The O-line is terrible. Deshaun Watson needs to do better. Nick Chubb coming back could move them up a little bit, could help a lot. Amari Cooper's doing good. Amari Cooper can't do it all, though. I think they're mediocre at best. Next, we have the Houston Texans. Now, they took a massive loss last week, right? They got beat up on by the Minnesota Vikings, okay? It happens. I just realized I didn't put my NFC favorite. We'll go back and do that. You know what? And I'm probably still going to... we'll finish the Texans. Star-studded CJ Stroud at quarterback. Joe Mixon will be back. They'll be okay. I mean, probably the most stacked wide receiver core in the league. Crazy defense. You can send blitz. When this defense smells blood in the water, they're attacking it. They're a Super Bowl contender. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not even going to talk about this one long. They're Super Bowl favorites. Back-to-back-to-back, first three-peat in history. I think this team is going to do amazing things. You already see them. Everyone's like, why is Kelsey not doing good? They're spreading the ball to 8 people a game, not including the 3 running backs they're running it with. This team, I think, is in final form. Everyone's like, oh, it's not the Chiefs from last year. I think they're better than the Chiefs from last year. I think we're seeing them take that step, and they're like, you know what? Let's just go out there and win every game we can. Let's win every one of them. They're playing great football. They're playing to the bell, and that's why they're winning games. Next, we have the Dallas Cow Frauds. They get their own tier. You know why? Because they could be a potential wild card team. They could miss playoffs. Jerry Jones said he was all in, didn't address the abysmal run defense from last year. The pass defense is a little lukewarm. You have no run game. Your wide receiver core isn't connecting with the quarterback. The quarterback isn't connecting with them. There could be a massive, massive downfall for the Dallas Cowboys this year. Next, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. Maybe a potential wild card. To me, it really depends on is Justin Herbert okay? Is he healthy? That's really all it boils down to. Next, we have the New York Jets. I still think they're Super Bowl contenders. We saw prime Aaron Rodgers last week. Now, like I've said time and time again, it was against the Patriots. We're going to have to see it more and more. I think all the potential is there to be Super Bowl contenders. They're a little banged up. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Carolina Panthers, #1 pick contender. I'm not even going to sit here and harp on that. Tennessee Titans, I think #1 pick contender. You know what? We'll do young and intriguing. I think really, honestly, the only reason they're losing games is because their quarterback is terrible. Will Levis is awful. If he could get the turnovers down, he wouldn't be as bad. I just still think he's awful. Colts, I think they're young and intriguing. Kind of the same thing as Will Levis. The quarterback play is just terrible. You're completing 50% or under of your passes. Can't be like that. And last but not least, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, mediocre at best. The way they regressed this year is absolutely ridiculous. It's scary. I feel like losing Calvin Ridley shouldn't hurt them as much, but it is. They can't get their run game going. Their receivers aren't connecting. Trevor Lawrence looks like he's regressed terribly. I don't know if it's the O-line. I don't know what's happening. The defense just isn't there. That team is just terrible. But we have one more thing to fix. Who's going to be our NFC Super Bowl contender? I think I'm still rocking with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to go out there. I think they're going to get it together. And like I said, if Jalen Hurts can get the turnovers down, this team might be unstoppable. So this is our official three weeks in contender list. Y'all let me know who you think is too high, who you think is too low down in the comments. Don't forget, like and follow.